Well, and now that we've got this, recording to the right place, hello and welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the VAU mic check. My name's Mike, and we're here with everybody, including Nathan, who's finally back.
Yes, I am here.
Welcome back, Nathan. Good to have you again. Hopefully, things go smoothly. I'm sorry for my recent absence. I have, also had life happen to me. Anyway, so welcome to the VAU mic check. Today's script is, as it was described before the mic check began, long-ish, but it's got a lot of, as it was also described, great imagery. So, without further ado, since, nobody else had the confidence to give it a try first, looks like I'm going first. So I get to personally introduce you to this wonderful, beautiful script this week.
Convoluted as it is.
It's not convoluted. All right. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? Yeah, you can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? Traction control. No. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night? Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features, Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Fabulous.
Are you, really? Because I was stumbling all over myself on that one.
I told you it was convoluted.
Not convoluted!
Well, I'll tell you really quickly. I know that everyone's listening to it. The reason why I thought it was convoluted was because the way it came up on my screen, it started with eyelids was the very first word. So I was trying to figure out where the capital letter and commas would come in. So that's the only reason why.
So do you have the whole script?
I do now. Yes, I do.
Okay. And it wasn't just from me reading it that you realized, oh, wait, I need to start typing all this down.
Yes, it was from you reading it when the words didn't match to what I saw. Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Now, is this TV, radio? I mean, I would assume it's TV. It's kind of long, right? Or
actually, no. When it's kind of long, it's actually radio.
Radio. Okay. All right.
So this is definitely a radio spot.
Okay.
Yeah. TV spots are usually shorter and almost written like poetry, if that makes any sense. It's got weird pauses and breaks and line shifts and whatnot in it.
Oh, that's a good way to think of it. Yeah, because there's visual, so it's the sentences are probably shorter.
Yeah.
I liked the way you read it. Obviously, everything you read is professional and marvelous. But I didn't get quite the humor that I was expecting. Quite the level of either, I don't know, acerbic-ness or something.
Yeah, I see where she's coming from. It had a little more of that corporate feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. So,
and we all know you can be acerbic, right? You can Google that if you need.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me try to give it a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. If that's the right term. I don't know right now. All right. A lot of people have been asking us in Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his PD? I said PDA. Well, pick up. A lot of people have been asking us in Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead, who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Much more impressive. Like it stood out now.
Yeah, that was a much better take.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, was there anything in particular that maybe stuck out? Maybe I could change. Maybe I could try different something.
Well, the only thing that I would say, as I was reading along with you and everywhere that I thought, okay, that could be funny, you did it. But think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. You know, I think maybe that could have been like head curtain. I don't know, maybe it could have been chunked up a little bit differently because it kind of missed the joke there. But the rest of it was right on. Everywhere I thought, okay, that's funny. You totally hit it.
Okay, Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. All right. Anything at all else?
I don't think it was conversational enough.
There he is.
Not conversational enough. Okay. More peaks and valleys, as Dodge would say.
Make it like you're pissed off and you're like, thank God I have this Saturn L300. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, in this case, he's from the company.
Oh, yeah.
that makes Saturn.
You're right.
So it's a little along the way of we've been studying how people behave.
They all suck. And
I can literally picture this guy standing in front of a screen showing all of this scenery, and he's pointing out each thing that's going on.
Mm-hmm. He's literally pointing. So there's like that impulsive feel like,
yeah.
And that friendly lady, like he's actually, oh yeah, and that friendly lady.
Yeah.
You know.
He's wearing his lab coat, and he's one of those scientists at Saturn who studies behavior, so they can make the car safer.
Yeah,
but I don't get that. I get it from the perspective that he's actually sitting in the car talking to you.
Yeah, like maybe he's the guy who's selling the car and he's taking you on a test drive.
That makes even more sense.
Because how can he be pointing at a screen if he tell you he's 2 lanes over?
Yeah, he's more likely doing a test drive with you.
Good point.
So I sort of imagine one of those car commercials where everything's sort of happening in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a driver in a Saturn L300 and they're heading up an on-ramp onto the freeway right now. And time sort of freezes,
like the Matrix.
Yeah. So it sort of like slows down. And me being the introducer of the whole thing here, being the person walking you around, I just imagine going up to these people and arm out, showing who they are, what's going on, and how it works with how it applies to your Saturn. That's the idea that I had.
You know what would be brilliant for this?
If it wasn't me.
Nah. If you got to think of this in terms of the commercial where they do mayhem.
Yeah,
that's the thing I was thinking of. I keep picturing this guy dropping a chicken drumstick in his lap as he's reaching for his phone.
And in order to really pull it off, this whole read has the reek of sarcasm.
Absolutely. JD, I think you could probably do that.
Jeez, thanks.
Well, that's a compliment. It means you're highly intelligent.
I thank you, but it's is that me? I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on for a second. Yeah, go on without me.
All right.
Okay, so make it reek of sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Daj says that I hit here on the tagline a bit too hard. So,
the less safe they make it out here?
Yes.
Okay.
The more safe we make it in here. Okay. All right. Here we go. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? Yeah, she's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Your gorgeous gems in this was, that's right. The way you said Saturn L300 midsize sedan, you kind of let it just roll down. And the more safe we make it in here. Those were 3 really awesome things.
Yes.
But do you guys think I actually hit the direction that I was given from last time?
Yes. The pacing could have been a little bit more quick, as I think that naturally you would probably speak a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, the difference from the first one to that one. I mean, all 3 were freaking awesome. So
yeah. It seemed a little bit like you lost a little bit of energy when you hit generously equipped.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much energy, but just a little bit.
Okay. Well, it's enough to be noticeable. So, yeah, I did. Dropped the energy. Dodge would appreciate more attitude.
Where is Dodge?
Okay.
Is he here? Oh, he's typing. Okay.
Yes, only in chat currently.
All right. I'll go if you guys want to do another one. Michael, that would be fabulous, but I think he's already superior.
I could go for one more if you guys would like.
I'd like to hear you do it again with you have some pauses in there that it almost seems as if you want it to sound casual, so you're pausing as if you're thinking about what the next word is, but it is a little distracting from the flow.
Okay. Button it up a bit more.
Yeah.
We'll see if that can up the attitude that Dodge wants.
Okay.
A lot of people pick up. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn? Oh my gosh, what's that? Pick up. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out here, or out there. Pick up. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Yay. That was lovely. So awesome. That was good.
You're hired.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It only took 4 takes. Perfect.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not an easy script.
No, it's not. And I am always looking for a good and worthwhile challenge to include on the mic check.
And then you're listening back to the spot, and they took the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. After giving you all the direction, they're like, yeah, you know what? That first one was the best one.
That's actually in my personal experience recently. It's going to be on the air pretty soon. So.
Try to give them all the options that you can, and they just go with the very, very first one you went with.
I gave them 2 and 1 very animated one because it was for kids block of programming. So, and
they went with the one that's more paced and
a little slower, a little bit more, it's like a little less energetic, but it's like, okay, there you go.
It's funny how that works out.
All right.
Okay. Rebecca would like to go because she's nervous.
Use that nervous energy.
Okay.
Lean into it.
Yes.
A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brake. Excuse me. What do I say? I say take or something?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay. You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night? Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up on the ramp behind you? That's right. The L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. Excuse me. That's right. The L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. Generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out here, the less safe they make it out there. The more safe we make it in here.
No, listen, your read was good. The only thing that I'd like to see was some separation between polymer door panels and
the generously equipped.
Right, because it's changing subject.
Okay. Okay. Was it too fast?
Nah, I think that the commercial is probably only a minute long.
Okay.
So it's a lot to squeeze in a minute, so it actually needs some speed to it.
All right.
I think your pacing was good.
A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been, the sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up on the ramp behind you? That's right. The L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
That was good.
That was good.
Okay. Thank you.
You get excited when you read, don't you?
You let the adrenaline rush right to her head.
Well, it was horrible. I still freaking love the experience of doing it, so it doesn't really matter if it was good or not. It's just fun.
Why don't you go ahead and add a little bit more the I'm making fun of you cheekiness when it comes to pointing out the individuals.
Okay.
Like, the guy checking emails on his phone, the trucker, the lady, just try to be a little bit more making fun of them. Sound a little bit more cheeky about introducing them. That would be my only thing.
But to pull it off, you got to slow down.
Okay. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker ahead who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain side airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up on the ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
All right, what'd you guys think?
Well, I like the read. I think that
That was a good read.
when she gets to when you do chock full of safety standards, you keep blowing right through that Saturn L300, and that's the problem.
Okay. All right. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Good.
They would tack that one on to the final.
Okay.
Yeah, cut and paste.
Cool.
Or if you was doing it yourself, you would have to cut and paste.
Absolutely.
You know, speaking of that, when you're editing and you're doing a reread, you know, even specifically for a tagline, you have to make sure that your volume and energy is consistent with the read that you did prior, or it's gonna sound like an edit when you go to.
We'll definitely play
Yes.
it back before you
Yes.
send it.
I had to do that for a radio spot because the guy's like, I like the spot, but can you use a different name for said quote band? So
Yeah.
he didn't want the national. He wanted somebody local to hear. So I had to change it up. And here's the kicker: I was doing it in character.
Oh, no.
So I mean, not only keeping the same tempo, pace, and volume level, but the same character style.
Tricky.
So that was loads of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Helpful thing was I wrote the spot, so
Yeah, that works.
But yeah, there's all this stuff to keep in mind, and then it's like, okay, now that you've gotten through all the technical stuff, act.
Now, did you try to just insert the word, or did you just redo the whole sentence? You went back so you could give some fade in, fade out.
I remember right, I had to redo the back section of the spot.
Yeah.
So it was only a few seconds of stuff, but at the same time, it's just like making sure everything is set exactly where it was when I did it the first time, because it had been like a week.
Oh, yeah.
Goes, okay, can you just do that one more time this way?
Oh, not me. Okay. Me?
Oh, no. I
Oh,
was
okay.
saying what he was saying.
Gotcha.
Good
That was
delivery.
quite a difficult script. I appreciate that. That's what you chose.
The best place to be comfortable is in the uncomfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, another good quote.
Yeah, another way that it was put is there is no comfort in the growth zone and there is no growth in the comfort zone.
You guys are like Yodas or something.
Comfort in the growth zone. There is not.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you. That was entirely off the cuff. Okay. So, is everybody reasonably satisfied with her performance?
I think it was good.
I think it was good too.
Thank you.
I think I shall volunteer next.
Excellent.
A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see the gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain side airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you. That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock-full of standard safety features Saturn L300 mid-size sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Who is that reading? Nathan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can I jump right in? Because what I loved is you used two totally different tones for, well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone. And then you went to thank him for your L300s, and you took it down like 2 totally different deliveries, and you did that, and it created a wonderful rhythm between the see that and this is what I think. And I noticed it only because after checking his email on his phone, you went into you can thank him. But then the 4-wheel disc ABS brakes went back up in pitch, and I was wishing that you didn't. But the other question and answers, you did a very beautiful job of contrasting see this and this is what I think of it in 2 different tones. And it was really nice. If that makes any sense to anybody.
I agree. I was wondering why he did the upswing on the ABS brake.
Yeah, because it was so lovely to hear it go on his phone. You can thank him for your L300, and then he kind of went back up. So I would take advantage of that contrast there and do that each time.
Okay. Alyssa said, I agree you stayed on the higher pitch a bit too long in the middle of the script. All right, I'll take it again. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you has been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night, think of him as Mr. Head Curtain side airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you. That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped chock-full of standard safety features Saturn L300 mid-size sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
All the way up to that's right, it was phenomenal. I loved it. At the eager teenager weaving his way up on the ramp behind you, you didn't go back down until you got to resistant. But I thought it was hysterical, the funniest yet, I think.
I literally pictured John Cleese doing this spot.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Monty Python.
Of which I am a great big fan.
I posted... Never mind. It's off topic.
Michael has something he was going to say.
Let's see how your next read turns out before I do.
Okay. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see the nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who has been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night, think of him as Mr. Head Curtain side airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you. That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped chock-full of standard safety features Saturn L300 mid-size sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. That was good.
All right.
So, Michael, what you got to say?
It would stand out on American radio for sure.
When I was going through my early training, I went to this studio that it was a professional recording studio in my area, and the guy who runs it does independent lessons of his own. And one of the things that he said was, because we had a woman who was trying some accent for her read, and bless her heart, she tried and did a fairly decent job, but it wasn't quite up to snuff. And the word of advice that he gave about that was, most of the times, if they're going to hire an accent, they're going to, unless they're looking for something that's super tongue in cheek, they're probably going to hire somebody who's a native speaker. And his advice was, if you can't really, allow it to, if you can't really do it as a native speaker, then it's probably a better choice to not do it. And I noticed that your accent was going in and out constantly. There were times where it would fit perfectly, other times where it would break down into this generic accent. And I'm not saying this for any lack of practice or anything, but it really broke the flow, in my opinion, at least.
I noticed what you're saying only in a few places, and one was in the pronunciation of the word Saturn. I expected it Saturn. And it did kind of jar me, like I was expecting it to be a certain, but I still liked it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that, in general, it's advised that unless you're the thing is native quality, or they're going specifically for a satirical sound, that it'd be better and safer to stay away from accents.
Now, if you were doing something like this, Michael, and I agree with you, but if you really just felt driven to, is it appropriate to throw it in as a second take, as long as you do some sort of 2 takes, first English, second tongue-in-cheek English? I mean, if you just think that maybe it would go, or is that gonna burn a bridge?
Tough question.
That is a really tough question. I would say if you're going to do it on a script this long, I don't think 2 takes is going to be appropriate to send to the client.
Okay. All right.
Because it's such most people, let's be real, and most people in the industry, they're going to listen to the first maybe 10, 15 seconds at most, and they're going to make their decision on whether or not you're on the story and telling it like they wanted it and like they imagined it from that.
And then you'd be adding the inconvenience that if they liked the first 2 words of your British take and you did it and you couldn't pull it off the whole way, they've just wasted a bunch of time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So unless you're like super confident that you can slip into it and make a native speaker believe you came from Liverpool, I wouldn't suggest going for it.
Okay.
So my bit of direction to Nathan would be to take all of that, the characterization, and remove the accent from it.
Okay. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You can thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who has been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night, think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you, that's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock-full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
I liked that.
You see, I would say that would be a total go for an audition. If you're gonna actually like really audition for the spot, that would be a great take to send into them. Absolutely.
That almost makes me wonder why you went with the accent in the first place.
Well, I got to say, JD, that from my personal experience narrating audiobooks, sometimes it's easier to be a character if I'm using an accent that's not my own. So even if maybe in your own private life, Nathan, if you had something where you wanted to do some sort of attitude, throwing in the accent for your first couple of takes, I could see where you could thank him for your L300's four-wheel disc. You probably wouldn't have said it that way if you hadn't have been doing your English bloke for the first 2 or 3 takes.
Yeah, well, see, it's more of a pattern break.
Yes. Well, it sounded like an English guy with an American accent, and it was not how I would have expected your average American guy to read it. I liked it. The timing was very unique.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty then. Anything else?
Yeah, I like the final, and I think that is some really good advice in reference to the accents. Is that if you're gonna do something, you got to make sure that you 100% on point with it.
Oh yes,
because when you're doing something extra, then people have extra things to pick apart about what you're doing. You know, every element that you add when you're doing a voiceover, then it's one more thing that the person can pick and say that they either love it or they don't like it at all. So you got to be just mindful of that.
Absolutely true.
Yes. The more balls you're juggling, the more complicated everything gets.
Yeah, that's a wonderful analogy.
Now, if you're doing the first 2 takes as a pattern break,
yeah.
Get into that spot, that place.
I mean, if that's what you were going for, then that is the perfect setup for your actual audition or in-studio read. Of course, if that wasn't in-studio read, you would definitely want to get those other British reads out of the way first.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, it looks like our silent participants have also agreed. The accent was dropped here or there, but it did help you set up for that last read, which was fantastic. So, well done, Nathan.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Bravo, sir.
All righty then.
All right.
JD, I believe you're the only other one with a microphone who has not gone yet. Oh, you and Takia. So which one of you two would like to go next?
Well, I would say ladies first.
Aww. That's so sweet.
Well, Takia, it is being offered to you. Would you like to go next?
No, I wouldn't.
You go.
Okay, well, the torch is being passed back to you, JD.
A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, Who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, you see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his emails on his phone? You can thank him for the L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles. She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night thinking of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the ramp behind you? That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of safety standard features, Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less we make of it, the less safe they make it out there. The more safe we make it in here.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
A little fast.
And skipped over a couple words in there.
Yeah, a little fast. Some words were skipped over. There's the intonation on a few things was a bit odd, but I think that's. I think it's just you just need to give it a second take. Just go for it again.
I don't want to. Let me.
But it's your turn. You gotta.
All right, here we go. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, you see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking emails on his phone? You can thank him for your L300 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles? She's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night, think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up the on-ramp behind you. That's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
All right. What did you guys think of that one?
I don't want to. I'm tired of. I'm sorry that I keep charging in with what I want to say, but I'm not able to stop myself. There's 2 aspects to this read, and I think the first is identifying what we all kind of agreed, that it's somebody maybe sitting in the car with someone pointing out these things who's actually the car salesman, and he's trying to disguise his dislike for the people out there. But the other part of it, even though it's radio, there is a visual aspect, and the visual aspect lends itself to a guy who's sick and tired of this, and he does it all day long, and he's trying to sell a car. And I imagine a big guy with his seatbelt on, and he's turning around talking to somebody in the back seat, maybe the man with a checkbook and the woman's in the front seat. So JD's voice took it to a whole nother visual story that I hadn't gotten yet. And I imagined him with a short sleeve, business shirt with a tie that he hates. I loved it. It gave it a visual aspect that I thought was desperately lacking earlier by myself.
Alyssa says, I thought the introduction was good on every line except the eyelid one. It was like you tried to give it attitude at the very end, but it didn't quite work.
Oh, I could see that.
Okay.
Well, I think that's probably, there was some stumbling on the script that probably had more to do with that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really want to say too much, because I think it's just familiarity with the script.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling how it reads, because there's one thing, it's one thing listening to it, it's another thing actually reading it. Like you gotta, every script seems to have its own sort of shape to it, its own path that works its way in your mind. And I think for most people, it's about familiarizing yourself with the script before really going into the whole, well, here's how we can change it, here's the tweaks we can make. So, yeah, I would just say, JD, you've had 2 reads with it so far, so I think you should be pretty comfortable with the way that it flows and how it reads. So go for it one more time, and then we'll see how that shapes up, and see what we can do from there.
Oh God! All right. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, you see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking his email on his phone? You could thank him for the L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who's been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles, she's partly responsible for your all-season traction control. The sleepy trucker up ahead who's been up all night, think of him as Mr. Head Curtain Side Airbags. And that eager teenager weaving his way up on the on-ramp behind you, that's right, the L300's dent-resistant polymer door panels. The generously equipped, chock full of standard safety features, Saturn L300 midsize sedan. The less safe they make it out there, the more safe we make it in here.
Bravo. Much smoother. It didn't have the same kind of the last one that you did just had such a lovely, I'm just so tired of this job kind of thing, but at the same time it was just funny. You just got a visual. This one was a much better read, smoother, but I really liked the other one for whatever reason.
Slow down, speed up, go faster. Nah, just messing with y'all.
Well, if you don't want to continue, you could just you don't have to.
I think slowing down allowed me to not kind of dump over the words, the way that I was doing. So it slowing down definitely gave me a little bit of balance on reading and getting the words out. So that was good advice to help me smooth through it. I think that that kind of what throws me off is that question mark in the last 10 miles. I would really think that should be an ellipsis there.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's the same thought, just phrased differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, through all my reads, I was ignoring that question mark.
I know. I think that that's more of annoyance. I think that's kind of something that would really add a different layer to the read there, JD, is just being annoyed by all of it.
Yeah.
Like you're on the road, you've seen all of this, you're sick of dealing with it. And
that's what I got from that second read. I loved it.
You've explained it to people a million times. It's like, okay, let's just get this over with. Okay, a lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking email on his phone? You could thank him for your L300's 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And it's like, oh my gosh, people seriously stop doing this on the road.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I approached it, from this guy over here, and then you got this lady back here, then you got this young kid coming up behind me doing 3,000 miles an hour.
Okay, okay, I have to say something. Like just then, when you did that, you had like kind of a casual kind of here kind of thing, and you had that in the second one.
Okay.
And in the third one, you enunciated the way you would think voice actors should, but that's what gave the second one that thing that was real. Like I'm the lady in the front seat. I'm 5'4" and I can't afford the car, but I really want it. My husband's in the back. He doesn't want it. But there's the sales guy that's you. And when you said it like that, you could feel it. So I'm not saying, I'm saying that I like the way you say here that time before.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It sounded real.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Over here.
That's all.
No, I understood what you were saying. I think that in the third read, I just try to hit all the words,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of took some of the conversation out of it because I was really concentrating on reading the script as opposed to just giving out the idea.
Mm-hmm. I would hire you.
Thank you.
For this spot. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Alyssa said you added you before "see that nice gentleman," and it actually made it sound more natural and conversational. Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, I shall be the unofficial voice of the silent here. I will take it upon myself.
And she's doing really good.
Oh, man. Okay, then. So, what do you guys think? You think you should take it one more time, or you think we should let him off the hook?
I think he should make the decision.
Yeah, he should.
I'm off the hook.
JD's like, submit it and forget it. Submit it and forget it.
JD's like, I never take this many takes. Never.
Actually, I do. If I'm auditioning, I'll do 3 takes and edit all of them, and then get up and leave, and then come back and listen to them.
Yep.
And then decide which one I'm gonna send in.
Yeah.
But on the pay-to-play sites, it's hard to like force yourself to do that.
Yeah, because you gotta submit fast to be number 4,000. That's why I don't like them.
I hate them.
I've avoided the pay-to-play thing. It's made it a longer, harder road to climb, but for me, it's been worth it.
I would have to say that I probably would disagree with that, because you do tend to get in it and you keep spinning your wheels in a rat's cage instead of taking the time to go ahead and hone your craft and submit your demos and network,
Yeah. The pay-to-play sites are a double-edged sword. In one sense, it can definitely give you something to work with so that when you're looking for agents, you can say, you have at least a small list of a few things that you've done that you can say you've been paid for and have been professional. So there's that about it. And actually, that's one thing that Nancy Wolfson points out as a positive thing about them, is that you can easily build up even just a small background of work to show to potential buyers and whatnot that yes, these are things that I have done that I have been paid for. On the other hand, so many people go there thinking they're going to strike it rich that yes, you become number 400, 400 within the first few minutes of an audition going live. So like you're essentially sitting there hunting for direct auditions. And it certainly doesn't help that some of the other major voiceover sites out there, I'm not going to say which ones, have interviewed people who have basically made voices.com or voice123 or whatnot their main source of income. So, sort of worsening the whole problem of there are so many people out there that, a buyer just doesn't even want to get close to your audition because it's just, there's so many of them they're pounded with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said, Mike, I think it's definitely a double-edged sword. The problem that I see with it is, one, people are auditioning for speed, trying to be the first one, which means that the client has to listen to 1,500 bad auditions before they get to one that's good. And if they're not willing to really do the work and listen to the auditions, then you could get lost in the drainage of the water that goes down the well without even getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other side of that is that you have a lot of people on that site that haven't been vetted. So, it really comes down to knowing where your skill is and knowing where you want to, as a actor, spend your time and what you want to spend your time doing.
And that is the big question of the day for a lot of us, a lot of the people I've been talking with. That's like what a lot of people are struggling with. Where do I spend my limited time?
And where do you spend your money too?
Mm-hmm.
Because pay to play, obviously, people forget about the pay part. Where if you're playing, then you need to try to, at a minimum, if you're not making your money back, you're in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
You know it. And some of them sites are not cheap. You know, $400 for a year. If you can't make your money back in a year, you're in the wrong place. You know, but it's a good. You gotta participate. It's like the lottery. You gotta play to win. So it's definitely ups and downsides of it. I make 90% of the stuff that I do is off of regular clients that I've established over the years, and some of them have found me through the pay to play. So it's kind of crazy, but you know, it's a crapshoot.
Just can't get stuck in it.
Right.
Yeah. I got found through Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From a demo that you had out there? Or?
Well, no, it's just from making connections and meeting people. It just, you know, well, then there was something else that I do, and I got into it because somebody posted an audition on one of the voiceover pages on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped a lot.
Yeah, I got two pretty large audiobook contracts off of Facebook as well, like that. You just kind of, you know, lurk.
Lurk, talk. I try to engage as much as I possibly can when I get the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, otherwise it's just like, oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that even if the participants in this group, you know, once the sessions are over and you guys are doing different stuff as far as training, I think even promoting the Zoom meeting is going to help some of us gain work, and it's going to help some of us actually, when we review what we actually did, see where we need to make choices in, you know, what we do on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Alrighty then. Well, yes, to all of it. Yes, thumbs up. Of course. I really don't have anything else to add. I'm just talking right now to fill in the air. But anyway, Takia, would you like to go, or would you like to sit this one out?
I would like to go.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay. A lot of people have been asking us at Saturn, who should we thank for all the standard safety features on our Saturn L300? Well, see that nice gentleman, 2 lanes, overeating fried chicken and checking on his phone? Pickup. Well, see that nice gentleman, 2 lanes over eating fried chicken and checking emails on his phone? Well, you can thank him for your L300 4-wheel disc ABS brakes. And that friendly lady behind you who has been coating her eyelids with mascara for the last 10 miles, she's partly responsible for all season traction controls. The sleepy trucker ahead, who has been up all night. Thank him as Mr. Head Curtain. Think of him as Mr. Head Curtain side airbags, and that eager teenager weaving his way up the ramp behind you. That's right, the L300 dent resistant polymeter door panels, the generosity equipped check full of standard safety features. Saturn L300 mid-size sedan. The less they make it out here, pick up the less safe they make it out here, the more safe we make it in here.
Not too bad, considering it's a brand new script.
Thanks. I tried and tried and tried to read it over and over, and try to build my confidence, but it didn't help at all.
Well, confidence is a big deal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You worked your butt off on it, though. That's more than I can say for JD.
Thanks.
Just kidding.
Oh, that's fired.
That was cold-blooded.
Yeah, it was.
I need to crack the energy a little bit there.
Oh, ouch.
Again, like I've said before in the past, Takia, you really got to be careful when it comes to the words that are written. You really have to make sure that you're slowing down and reading some of the things that are on there. And if something is difficult for you, you really have to ask. It's better to ask and have it clarified than to guess and have to redo the whole thing over and over again, because the word just it throws off the entire read. So, for instance, at the end, you called it polymeter. It's polymer.
Oh, polymer. Oh.
Yes, polymer, which is actually has a I think one less syllable in it, which thankfully is a little bit easier. Yes, it's polymer, and you said the generosity equipped. It's the generously equipped.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one I caught. But to get your confidence up, you have to do a lot of reading, and you have to do a lot of reading out loud, and you have to do a lot of recording of your own voice and listening to it with an open mind, because that's the thing that is going to help you in the long run. Funny short story, when I first started, Mike, that's you typing?
Yeah, sorry, I'm muting up now.
All right. When I first started, one of the problems that I had was exactly what Rebecca was talking about earlier about me, is that I dropped the end of words. And one of my coach that was coaching me, he actually had me read and read and read, and he recorded, and then he sat with me and went over the recordings and explained to me what it was that he was hearing and let me hear it as he was explaining it.
Yeah.
So when I, like today, this is really kind of informal, so I didn't pay as much attention to it. But when I'm paying attention to it, it sounds like the third script. When I'm not paying attention to it, it sounds like the second script. And I think that that's why it sounded more casual, like I was in the car just talking, as opposed to the third script where I was reading and actually paying attention to what I was saying.
Sure.
So you'll hear the difference as you get more involved into recording your own voice and listening to it with objective ear. And when I say objective, you have to really look for your own mistakes. And that's the way that you're going to get to where you can improve.
Good points.
Yep. Very good point.
Very good. Oh, and Alyssa said, when you read the script, make sure you understand what it's saying before you try to perform it. Google is your friend.
Yeah, we love Google.
Yeah. Well, even one piece of copy that I brought in here on a Saturday, don't remember how many Saturdays back, but there was something in there that I didn't understand what it said. I looked up the pronunciation before I started the mic check.
Yeah, that's excellent advice.
There's actually a pronunciation guide online that will read the word back to you. You can actually listen to it and then help you to pick up on it.
I like VAU. I don't know what you guys use, but I really like VAU. It's all different languages, and it's not computer, and it does have a what do you call it, contribution aspect, so people can come in and correct or do their local dialects, and it's pretty cool. It's all free.
VAU.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I like doing when I have words that still are really odd, like Let me go ahead and type this into the chat window. I was going for an audition and I came across this word. I have to Google it again to make sure that I've got the spelling right. Yes, okay. Here we go. Okay, so it was this word here. And for those of you who can't see, which is everybody else who's going to be watching this later, the word is pronounced, it's pronounced Gloucester.
Gloucester. That's right here in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, I'm from California. I've never seen that word before.
I would have nailed it.
This is I'm thinking, wait, what? Gloucester? Gloucester? What is this? I had to look it up. Yeah, Gloucester.
Yep.
So, what I tell people, because there's sometimes this weird stigma people have about asking about words. I don't think it's a problem if you preface your question with, just to make sure I have it right, so we won't have to do it over again. How do you pronounce this word?
That way you don't even have to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you pronounce this word?
Dave said he pronounces it Gloucester.
That's how I would have said it.
Matter of fact, I think Michael brought this into a mic check once, and let's see, I had pronounced it Gloucester.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have. I brought this up before, but yeah, Gloucester.
Yeah. You throw some Tennessee accent into it or Kentucky accent, Gloucester.
Even worse.
I think there's a Gloucester, Maine, too.
Yeah. There's Gloucester, Maine, and Gloucester, Massachusetts. At least from what I understand. Then again, my knowledge could be completely wrong, or I could be remembering things wrong because I'm actually kind of tired right now. But yes, it's important to ask about the words, but it's also important to ask it correctly.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you say that? You're probably guaranteed to not have return business from them. But if you say something like, just to make sure that we can do this easily, I don't want to mess this up and be caught on it, how exactly do you pronounce this word or this term or whatever it is?
Yeah. And unless they're a real jerk, they'll let you get away with it. Or they'll be like, well, how do you pronounce it?
There was another company that I had to, I was doing some voiceover for. And It was Mazda, I think. Was it Mazda? Honda? No, it was one of the car companies, and they had a company that they used for the shocks. I believe it was Bilstein.
Yes.
But it looks like Bill Stein. So I had to have that clarified. Then there are just some pronunciation. There's some words that are pronounced differently that sometimes you want to ask about, like tensile. Some people pronounce it tensile.
Yeah. Like with data and data.
Yeah, exactly. Data. You have to make sure you give the client what they are looking for.
I heard Nicole. Who was it?
Nicole Kidman?
No. I'm forgetting names. Why am I forgetting names? She was on Voiceover Body Shop the other day. I'll remember it here in a minute. Anyway, she was talking about doing a Hyundai spot, and she said it took her a few tries to get the word Hyundai right.
Some people say Hyundai, and I had to do something for them, and I said Hyundai, and they was like, no, it's Hyundai, like Monday.
My mom says Hyundai. Kills me.
Yeah.
At least it's better than like Hyundai or something like that. Like, pronouncing a Y in the middle of it.
Hyundai. That thing over there. Nicole Fazio. That's who it was.
Nathan, what are you on today? Because your mic sounds completely different.
I'm using my AT2020. It probably is the bandwidth with this thing. Apparently, I got a message from Chris Kendall earlier. Somebody from overseas was trying to get in and then got bumped out. And more than likely, it's a bandwidth thing. That's probably why Alyssa and Dodge are having so much problems.
Okay.
Thank you, Zoom. Although it is a little bit easier it is much easier to use than Google Plus.
Zoom or internet in general.
Yeah.
Because Nikia's sounding great today, and usually she has a little bit of bandwidth issues, but
well, about that, I had to. Okay, here's what happened. For some reason, I was on my computer, and I don't know, for every few often or whatever, it would. When I first logged in, I couldn't hear anything, but I'm pretty sure you guys could hear me. And so I said, okay, I'm going to leave and then come back. So I did, and then that's when the sound came on. But every few often, like, it would, like, cut up or break up, and then at one point it would cut completely, and I didn't hear anything, and I'm like, okay. So I'm going to try this on my phone because that happened twice to me today, and I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I'm on my phone. So yeah,
you sound fine for being on your phone.
Yeah, it sounds great. It's an iPhone, isn't it?
Yep. Always will be an iPhone user.
I think I will too.
It won't be long.
Until the day I die.
Yeah, like I said before we started, this little Linux boy is drifting over into the Apple arena. Probably going to get an iPad.
Back from Apple.
Huh?
I'm drifting back from Apple. I was Apple for years, and now I've got my Samsung. And
so you're a recovering Apple-holic?
Oh, I'm loving it.
The only reason is I found that a lot of the good tools for voiceover apparently are only on Apple devices, and they make nothing for Android.
Word.
That is correct.
Outside of WavePad, because that's a pretty decent little app. I use that frequently to record myself on the fly. But other than that, I can't find any. People are like, you've got to try this new app. And they're talking about, what was that, rehearsal app? I think that's what it is.
Heard of it.
Then there's one that Marilyn Wisner puts out, and I want to try it. They don't make it for Android. So I keep looking into it, and it's like I need to upgrade everything. And Rhonda and I were talking the other day. It's like, you know what? I think I'm going to get an iPad.
Alrighty then. Well, what do you guys think? You think we should call it now? You think this has been a good mic check so far?
This has been an excellent mic check.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I don't think we've really had a bad one. At least not really a bad one that I could think of. I mean, we've had.
Well, what would constitute a bad one?
That's the thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
when nobody can make it.
Okay, so there have been a couple bad ones.
Okay. No, it was a lot of fun. I like trying to squeeze it in. Saturdays are difficult, but I enjoy it every single time.
Yes, and thank you for summoning me, Rebecca.
You're not supposed to tell them.
You know why? Because I was sitting here and I was working on a project that I got to have done by Thursday, and I really needed to take a break from it. So
I stalked him on LinkedIn Messenger. I said, "Where are you? We're on."
because the time had completely gotten away from me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been working on this thing since like 10 o'clock this morning.
Good luck.
So thank you.
Yes.
E-learning. It's wonderful to do, but it's time consuming.
I'm still trying to land my first e-learning gig.
We should introduce a few e-learning scripts.
Yes, please.
Just to help
Not as
out.
easy as you'd think.
All right. Well, since next week is your week, Nathan, and since you brought it up,
Find some e-learning copy.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is everything has its own particular delivery style.
Mm-hmm.
People on the outside who don't do this have no idea. It's like, oh, that's a commercial, that's this, and it's all, somebody just jumps on the microphone and says something. It's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
There is a delivery style that's completely separate on everything. Audiobooks, e-learning, animation, promos, commercials.
For sure. That's why it's hard to transition, because you're so into your niche.
Yeah. I mean, I had to readjust. I've booked some animation, and I had to readjust a little bit because I've been doing promos, for TV station and doing a lot of other stuff, but not full-on longer scripts. So I had to readjust and learn to adjust myself to working with something that wasn't like time compressed into 15 to 30 seconds.
Maintaining the character for that long.
And my thing is, I love being in character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I took my wife's advice and started that YouTube channel thing, so I can do that whenever I feel like it, as well as when I'm hired to do it.
It's a good thing. It's following your passion, of course.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we need to end this.
Cut.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But that's what I was bringing up, how good of a mic check this was this time around. But anyway, thank you all very much for joining us. We'll go ahead and end the recording here. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. We do check on those very, very frequently. And if there's anything you'd like to see, also let us know that too. So until next time, this has been the VAU mic check. I don't know. I'm trying something different.
Adios.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Thanks, guys, very much.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bye-bye.